Okay, here's what I got going on with this wonderful car. Had a code for a oil pressure sending unit, oil pressure sensor, whatever you want to call it. Okay, and I checked. So it's a 3-pin. So I checked 3 circuits. One of them has ground, the other one has power, and I believe it's the signal wire. I have nothing, so I don't know how to check this. It's not like a crank sensor where you generate a voltage reading, and I know how to test that. Look at it on the laptop, the waveforms and shit. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply power and then ground. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. That's not the way to do it. You'll fry something. I'm just gonna go ahead and replace the sensor. I'm gonna look at some data on the Autel sensors out, obviously. And honestly, man, I don't know at all. I try to do some research online and see if I could find anything on testing an oil pressure sensor signal wire. But I found nothing, and I looked. But I'm sure I'll find out. Just gotta keep searching. But we're gonna go ahead and just throw this sensor on there. And I believe it's the sensor. So let's see. All right, so here's what we have. Same codes we had last time. We have the oxygen sensor, 1, 2. Then we have the 0520, which is the code we began with, engine oil pressure sensor circuit. And this one, I believe, is the one that popped up when I unplugged it. Let's go check out the freeze frame so we know. All right. That's how many minutes. It's been like that. So this is the one. Okay. Let's go check the other one. Yeah, 8 minutes. All right. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and replace it and change that O2 and run the scan again, see what happens. All right, moving on to the O2 sensor. Okay, the heater circuit always fails, and that's the only code I got. I was getting a reading out of the on the Autel, the live data. I know it's the O2 sensor, so I'm gonna replace it. All right, I use my extended ratchet 3/8. Get your adapter, the correct size on the O2 sensor. Really easy, and just begin on doing it. What the fuck? Nothing crazy happened. It broke free. I did it by hand. Let me take a look at that. Oh my God, yo. Wow. Upon installing it, maybe? Installed it the wrong way. What the fuck happened here? The cap blew out. I mean, if it was a turbo and the impeller just went flying through the exhaust, but this is naturally aspirated. What the fuck? That is crazy. All right, let's keep going. That's nice. A few turns in. That's it. I turn it. The harness will flip with it. Shut them bind up. I don't know how they did that. All right, that was too easy. Tighten it down, connect it, and we can now start working on the oil pressure sender. It's back here somewhere. Hold on, let me get my flashlight. All right, you see that connector? It's back here. I'm gonna have to fish for it. But just, special socket. All right, if you know, you can't use a regular socket, you'll break the clip. Use your special oil pressure sensor socket. which I need to go get. I'm gonna start this by hand and then use my tools. Here's what worked for me. Gonna remove the socket, get the socket on there, do it by hand. You see that clip? Clip it on, tighten it up, okay? Don't over tighten it because you could damage something. It's not meant to bottom out. It's very difficult to see, so I got a good feel for it. It got, pretty tight, so I quit cranking on it before I ruin something. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up here, set up my Autel so I could, do two things at once. Look at live data and check for oil leak back here. I mean, it's already dirty, so I'm gonna wipe it down. Oh, I may not have to. Alright. It's dry, somewhat, but I will know if there's an oil leak. Again, I'm gonna wipe it down and check it. Only one that came back, and it didn't come back, it's a pending code. So what that means is that the computer has to see a couple of cycles before it determines there's no problem. And it's like a permanent code as well. It just won't go away until you fix the problem. Again, I'm gonna look at live data, make sure everything is good. It smells like raw fuel when I started this car. So my guess is probably the cap probably just deteriorated, broke off. That's why that sensor was like that. Negative 83 degrees. What the fuck? Now, let's go look at some fuses. Because it was shorted out the way it was, I don't fucking doubt that it's blown. You seen the sensor. Needed to be replaced any damn way. So, all your pressure sensor is good. No issues there. Yes, okay. I was worried that it's gonna be in a funky location. So I'm gonna have to find in this little description if we have a fuse for it. So I took it upon myself to remove all of these fuses one by one. Then I went and did some reading, and the PCM controls the O2. Now I pull my tool out here. We have ground, we have power. I believe one is a signal wire and the other one's for the heater circuit. I can check. There she is. The wire. Oh, okay. See how that pulled out? Alright, we're gonna push those in. But anyways, if that's not it, I am going to clean this up, check the color code on it, and see if I can find it on the PCU. And we're going to test for continuity and possibly resistance. Not sure, but it's great that it's there. I gotta test it. I gotta make sure. All right, my peoples. You see, I trust the process. I don't pretend to be the smartest guy. I enjoy reading. I enjoy brushing up. I have to do it periodically to retain. But that connector had a pin that was sticking out. I'm pushing it back in. There we are. 1300 degrees. We're getting a reading. Boy, I love my job. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I chase a problem. I could chase a problem for days. I remember I owned a Windstar, and it was the dumbest shit. I kept losing my coil. It was a multi-cylinder coil. It was a one pack, right? With all 6 sticking out of it, but it would misfire, and I just kept going. Here's the thing. I kept buying the cheap one. It was $20. Last a week. Buy another one. I bought $60 worth, which is what, one of the parts stores wanted to sell me one for. I said, hell no. And I kept troubleshooting other things. I didn't think it was the coil. I thought something else was, you know what I'm saying, messed up and, you know, taking out the coil. Man, I bought that $60 coil, you know, and they never gave me a problem since. Well, you know, I mean, I don't own it anymore, but that was the last of that issue. So, just gotta chase it, man. 2011 Chrysler oil pressure sending unit. O2 sensor. It wasn't a regular O2 sensor job. It was very exciting. I enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Oil pressure sensor's fine. The light hasn't even came back. That's a fix, man. Till next time.